Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emmanuel Itoje and thank you for clicking on the link to watch this video. If you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please kindly support me by subscribing to the channel. Use the subscribe button, like the video, because this channel is for us to learn a lot of things about Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Azure. So in today's video we'll be exploring Microsoft 365 portal. We want to see how does it actually look like, the Microsoft 365 portal itself. What are the capabilities, what are the things that we can do. And one thing we have to take note of is that for Microsoft 365 portal, you're only able to have access to the applications and the services that you're actually currently paying for. So let's jump into our browser to actually explore the Microsoft 365 portal. So this is how the Microsoft 365 portal itself actually look like. Before, how do we actually sign in here? Let me open a private window and show us how to actually sign into this portal. If you go to portal.office.com, then you put in your work or school account. Let me select this work or school account, say next, then sign in, put in your username and password and sign in. I'm going to say no for this. So that is actually how you will sign into the Microsoft 365 portal. So we want to quickly explore different aspects of this portal. What are the things that we can actually use? How do we navigate this portal itself? That is actually the focus of this video. I will start from the upper left corner. The first thing you will see here, we'll call it the app launcher. So what is the app launcher? The app launcher is simply a button that gives you access to other applications. With the app launcher, you can use it to access other applications. For example, in the Microsoft 365 portal itself, once I click on the app launcher, I'm able to see different applications. I'm also able to see different documents. If I click on explore all app, it's going to take me to all the applications I currently have in the based on the subscriptions that is currently assigned. So if you notice that it actually came to a app here, so that's the first thing. The next thing you see is actually the Microsoft 365 the name itself. So this is actually going to tell you it is actually unique across different admin centers in Microsoft 365 center. The app launcher, you will see it everywhere. If I come back to the home here, I'll also see it there. Then the next thing here is a search button. What do we do with the search button? So if you need to, maybe you don't know the applications, you're looking for a document, you're looking for a file, you're looking for somebody in your organizations, you can actually use the search box here to search for applications, files, or people within the organization. So let's say, for example, now you're looking for a particular Word document. If you click on Word, it's going to actually filter by those documents for you. So that is a search. The next thing we'll see here is what we know as the calendar. So basically it's more or less like a to-do of your day. So it combines both calendar and to-do. Maybe you have anything that you plan to do, you've added some tasks here to do for the day. It's going to actually show that to you, and you can even add tasks even on the same admin center. So you don't necessarily need to launch the to-do applications or install the to-do application to actually use the to-do. Let's say I want to read by 5 p.m. for example. Then I click on add, so I'm able to see. So if I've completed the task, I'll just use the option. If I want to mark the task as important, I use this option. If I've completed the task, I just use the option here that the task has been completed. So that's the next thing we're going to see. The same thing, you'll be able to see a calendar. So if you have any meetings for the day, you have anything at all meetings, you'll be able to see everything planned for your calendar between October. So it's telling us between October 17th to 2023 to October 17, 2023. Yeah, December 17 rather, 2023. So that's the next thing. The next thing we're gonna see is this clock settings. So it's actually the settings button. So the settings button has different areas like orders, themes, language and time zone, the dark mode, password, and content reference. So for the third party notice, for example, now if you click on this, it's going to tell you different third party software notices that are actually, you know, available, which this is not actually important to us at the moment. Let me go back and all right, the settings. So the what is important is the theme. So for example, now I can click on VO. I'll be able to see different themes. If you notice, by default it's selected a particular themes for us. Let me select this themes. For example, maybe I like this. You notice it's actually changed here, because by default this was actually selected for us by default. So maybe it's what I like is this, so you'll be able to see that as well. So depending on the themes that you have, you like, you can select the themes that you want to actually use. So basically it's just as you selecting what you want based on what you want basically. So I'm going to leave it as that. And the next thing is change language. So if I want to change my language and my time zone, I have the option to actually do that here. So this will actually take me to a page known as my account. So this is something I'm going to dive deep in a different video. I'm going to go into my accounts in a different video where we'll be able to see the settings, how we change the language. So it's just straightforward. Like for example, if I want to change my display language, I just click on this and I'll be able to change the display language by clicking on this button. So any language I want, I can select the language. I'm from Nigeria, maybe I speak Igbo for example. I can change this to Igbo and everything will actually reflect in Igbo for me. Then for my region, I'm currently in the West Central Africa. Maybe I relocated, I changed time zone, I relocated to the UK or the US for example. I can simply select the time zone that I'm currently on basically. So it's actually very easy for me to do, but that's not that's actually for a different video. Let's go back to the home. So still on the settings, the next thing, we can change this to a dark mode for example now by just toggling that button. So maybe you're a programmer, you're a developer, you want to basically you know, you like the dark mode, you prefer it than the white mode, you can just use that option. I for one prefer the white mode, so I like the white mode. So if I want to change my password, I also have the option to change my password by clicking on change password, and this also will take me to the my account settings page as well. So it's taking time to load. It's going to take me to my account settings page where I'll be able to change the password. So all I need to do is to put in my old password, create a new password, confirm the new password and submit, and the password will actually change automatically. I don't want to do that in this video, so let's continue. Let me go back here. So that's actually how to change the password. Then still under the settings, I have the option to update my contacts and preferences. So it's taking me to this same portal as well. So this same portal, we have a lot of things to actually discuss under privacy. So if I want to change my preferences for example, I can click on this, then I can select, I can use my phone number. If I want, if I would like emails to an internet address, I can change that. So this is a new different video that will be actually be diving into. All right, so let's go back. So that's that under the settings. Yeah. The next thing here is this question mark. Is actually the help button. So the help button is actually something that if you need help, if you need help from Microsoft, or you're trying to do something, you need an article that can, you know, guide you on how to do it, you use the help button a lot. So the help button is there. The help button is also the one down here or see need help, where this one you can use it to contact the Microsoft support. Then if you click on this, so usually this will be like your avatar, like your initial, for example. Now, so for this, now if you click on, we call it the account manager. So for an account manager, you have the organization name here. So because this is actually coming from my developer's tenant, this was the default on Microsoft domain that was created for me, which actually is my organization name, and I can actually change it as well. So when we jump into the admin center itself, we'll be able to see how to change that. So I have the sign out button. If I don't want to sign in into this account, I want to sign out and sign in with another account on the same browser, I use the sign out button. If you remember, when I was trying to sign in, how to use the incognito window or the in private window to actually sign in. So I'll be able to see if I've had, I can change, I can add if I don't like this picture, for example, I can upload a new picture by just clicking on upload new, and to take me to the drive. I'll be able to upload a new picture there, and this picture is across broad. So any of the application I'm signed into, be it Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, Outlook, the picture will actually be there for me. Then view my account is actually the backstage view also that we are going to look at in a different video. We're going to actually dive deep into this part of the accounts, deep dive into the accounts part. I don't want to do that now. So the view my account is just other settings you can do as related to your accounts. You can check a lot of things, your subscriptions and all that. Then my Microsoft 365 profile. So maybe let's take us to a portal known as a dev, so you can see other information about you. You can see information such as maybe your manager, for example. This is my line manager. I can update different things. I can check my OneDrive. I can update my profile. I can see people in my organization here. So it's just basically to manage a way I can also manage my identity. I'm going to actually go deep into all this in a different video. Let me go back. So I think that's all for then. I can sign in with the different accounts as well. So if I have a different if I'm working for another organization that is also using Microsoft 365, I can also sign in using that account, using that button. All right, so everything here is still under the home. So the next button we have after the home here is a create button. So instead of me going into the app launcher to start, maybe I want to create a Word document, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, I have the create button here as a shortcut. If I click on this create, for example, now I'm going to see everything I can create. In fact, all my applications. If I want to create a Word document or a PowerPoint presentation, an Excel workbook, a Microsoft form, a Microsoft quiz, use the notebook, create a list, draw using the visual, camera recording, screen recording, and if I go use the arrow here, I'll be able to see. So these are based on the subscriptions that I have. So if you don't have the required subscriptions, you might not see everything here. So it's actually like a shortcut for me to quickly create something. So instead of me going into the app launcher, like I said, and exploring all my apps that I have, maybe I want to quickly create the form, I need to come and explore the app and click on all apps. So this is already taking time. If I'm not clicking on form, for example, now, so that create button is like a shortcut. So it's easy for me to quickly create the form or create a quiz for me instead of going deep into the app launcher, then looking at all my applications. So other things that we can see here are other things that we can do. These are basic PowerPoint presentations, templates that we can actually use to. So if it is presentation, you can click on presentation. You see a lot of slides that you can use for your presentation. If it's a calendar, so you have different templates to create calendar. If it is flyer you want to create, for example, you can create a flyer at the goal here. If it is on business, for example, now maybe memo, meeting notes, anything at all that you want to do, you have them at a goal here. So those are the things that based on the subscriptions that you have. if you're not having a Microsoft 365 business subscription, for example, now you might not be able to see some of these things. I currently have a Microsoft 365 E5 developer subscription without audio conferencing, so I'm able to see a lot of these applications on my hand. So that's that about create. So we can create them. If I want to create a planner and tracker, for example, now just on this create button, it's very easy for me to, I can create an event planner, I can create a weekly schedule planner. So I have templates available for me to quickly use instead of me customizing my template from the scratch. Alright, so the next thing we're going to look at my content. So my content is simply talking about the things that you own. It could be like presentation. So based on what you did, like if you edited the files, if you accessed the files recently, you did something on the file, it's going to actually be listed here. Like for example, it tells me that this was modified 26 minutes ago, this was modified 20 minutes ago, who was the person that did that, what was the activity. So I'm able to see all content. But if I want to filter by content that we are recently open, I'll just use the recently open content here, and it's going to filter for all the content that I recently opened. So if I want to filter by shared as simply the file that has been shared with you. So if somebody has shared files with you on OneDrive and SharePoint, you'll be able to see them here. Then if you have some files or document that you've added as a favorite, it's going to actually add them here. For example, let me go back to all. Let me check if I can. If I favorite this, for example, now, for example, if I go to my favorite, I'm going to see it listed here. So favorites are just things maybe you constantly use every now and then. So it's best practice to favorite them, and you're able to easily access them under my content. Then if I want to browse by people, maybe somebody share file with you, you'll be able to browse by the people. Then maybe by meetings, maybe you had the teams meetings, documents were shared in the meeting, you'll be able to actually access those content. Then based on location, so maybe they are cloud files, they are files in OneDrive, because these files were actually created on OneDrive on the cloud. That's why I have them there. If it's the files on the local, I've not really opened any local file yet, so I'll have all the files, maybe they are saved locally on the machine. Then if there are attachments, for example, maybe I have some emails with some attachments, so those attachments from those emails will be listed here for me. I don't actually have anything to actually an email. I don't receive emails on this account. It's just for testing purposes anyway. So you see every email attachment listed here for you. So let me go back to all and show us something. So there is this box that says filter by keywords. So if I'm trying to search for a document and maybe I have a whole lot of lists under the all, and I have a keyword that I'm looking for, I can easily type in the keyword, and it's going to filter it based on the keywords that I've typed here. Then for the filter as well, it has this a drop down here which you can click. So if I want to filter by just Word documents, so it means that every document I'm going to see is Word document. Maybe I'm trying to remember a document and the document is actually a PDF document. I can select using the PDF option. Maybe what I'm looking for is a video, for example. Now I can filter by video, so I can use this filter button to actually to be more productive basically. So that's that about my content. Before I go down to field, so there's these two buttons here on the lower right corner. We have the feedback. So for this feedback here, you are either giving you want to submit feedback to Microsoft, maybe give a compliment, or this you are enjoying how this admin center is, you can give a compliment to Microsoft and just tell them great. Then you can submit that, and that will be submitted for you. Then if you also have other features, like maybe you want to suggest an improvement, you also have the option here. I don't know why this is taking long to submit. Let me close this for now. So click on the feedback again. So if I want to report a problem, for example, now I can report a problem. Maybe this Microsoft 365 portal is not working the way it's supposed to work. I can report report a problem using this button. Then if I want to make a suggestion to Microsoft, something I want them to look into, maybe the UI UX, the flow is not great as I expected it to be, I can actually make a suggestion to Microsoft using this button. It's just basically the same thing. Then the next button here is on Need Help. So for the Need Help here, so if I want to contact Microsoft support, so instead of me jumping into the admin center, because there are like different ways we can actually contact support, but basically it's still going to come to this point. Like if I go to the admin portal, for example, I click on the admin, then I click on show all, then I click on support, then from support, and I say help and support. It's still going to bring up this for me, the same thing that it's actually brought for me here. So it's the same thing. So I can type in the issue. It's going to share some articles, link for possible resolution, but if those links are not helpful, I have the option to contact Microsoft from there. So just let me show those before I forget. Then field, so field is just like maybe you have a news field, you have an update, you want to stay on top of anything. So fields, like you want to stay on top stuffs, you see things that you want to stay on top here. If you have any meeting insights, you'll be able to see them here. If you have news in the organizations, to be shown here. If people that you like to connect, people that you share insight with as well, you see them there. You'll be able to see your activity as well and see people that you can actually connect with, and use a search button to also connect with people. So the next one we'll be looking at is the app. So the app basically show you the list of all the apps that you have. For instance, if you use the app launcher here, it's the same thing it's going to do. If you want to explore all your apps, for example, now, so it's going to bring it to the same location here. So if you click on all apps, so this all apps, you actually open all the applications that you have based on the subscriptions that you have. Like from the admin center, this is where you actually perform the administrative tasks. You only see this button. So this is the same button here. You only see this button if you have an admin access. Maybe you're a global admin, you're a billing admin, you've been granted an admin access into the tenant. If you're not an admin, you're not going to see this admin. Rather, what you're going to see are these other applications: Outlook for your emails and calendar and content, Microsoft Teams for your charts, for your meetings, then Word, Excel, PowerPoint for your Word, for your sheets, and for your presentation. You see them. So all the apps that are available are based on your subscriptions. Like I said earlier, I have the Microsoft 365 E5 subscription, and with that subscription I actually have access to all these apps that you're seeing here. There are some that if I need some other applications, for example, I might need to get some. Let's say for example now I want to use a Microsoft Project, for example. Microsoft Project is not part of the applications here. What I can do is I can go to my admin center and purchase a Microsoft Project, or purchase a project standalone plan, like the Project 2021 plan, for example. So these are actually different things that you have access to. So these are how you explore the Microsoft 365 admin center. Then the last thing here that I want to show us is actually the admin. So I mentioned this, that if you have an admin right, you'll be able to see that button, and this is where you perform different administrative tasks. So in our upcoming video, we're going to go over, even though there's some videos I've done, like for example I've gone through billing in one of my video. You can check my channel for that video, understanding Microsoft 365 billing in 30 minutes. So I actually went through everything that has to do with billing. So in upcoming videos I'll be going through other parts. Then I've done a particular video about user management deep dive as well, so you can also check that, in which I selected the users, and from that user we're able to go through everything about the user. So you can also check that. There's a different video about that, but basically I'm going to be walking us through the admin center, where we can learn how to perform administrative tasks based on either you're a global admin, and help desk admin, a billing admin, for example. I'm going to be showing us how to perform different administrative tasks for Microsoft 365. I want to appreciate you all. If you enjoyed this video, if this video is insightful for you, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel is going to actually help us to produce more content for you, so that you can learn more about Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Azure. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm gonna see us in the next video. Bye for now.